Hi everyone and welcome back, and today I'm spilling the tea. I'm answering the questions that are burning within your loins. I don't know if they're in your loins, but I went to Instagram, I said, hey, give me a Q&A. I've never done a Q&A in my life. Drop your questions. Nothing's off the table. I'm literally gonna answer all of it. I went through them. Some of them didn't make sense. Some of them were kind of crazy, but that's okay. Yeah, you're probably wondering what's going on this table. This is all squishy things, right? Squishy, and I thought, I'm not just gonna sit here and talk. I'm gonna talk and we're gonna open these because these are forbidden. Opening these have always been forbidden, and we're gonna find out what's inside. So I don't like sticky, so we're gonna spill the tea and we're gonna get sticky. Where's my sandwiches? How has your house been since the exorcism with Sam, Chris, and Colby? Anything from your dark entity? So that was interesting. There's been like a couple like door openings, but nothing that I've actually been like, oh, this feels paranormal. Like my house used to kind of have this creepy vibe to it in general, where it was just like a strange feeling. But a lot of the time it's giving those things power, which is acknowledging it or talking to it. And I haven't done that. Generally though, since Sam and Colby have been here, we did that little ceremony and I put a lot of intention behind it, and intention is everything. She squirts. And no, there hasn't really been anything. And I know a lot of negative stuff has gone on in my life, but it just doesn't feel paranormal related. It just feels like life. This was just liquid. Liquid and green with ribbon. Okay, cool. We're gonna get messy, I can feel this. Next up is, what was your absolute worst public transport experience? Oh, this one's super sad. So when I was in college, I went for police foundations first, which I know blows a lot of people's minds. Oh, this is a good one. Look at that. Jelly, juicy sprinkles. Okay, didn't even have to. So I went to police foundations in college for the very first time that I went to college. Yeah, I went a few times. It really wasn't for me, but I used to take the bus a lot because I couldn't afford to have a car there. So long story short, and really sad, I don't know why I laughed, we were driving and I noticed that there was like this toddler with a dad, and the dad was like nodding out, like he couldn't stay awake, and I didn't really understand how like drugs and stuff kind of worked back then, but it was very, very clear something wasn't right. So he started to kind of, that was weird. Let me turn that back on. Forbidden juice. Adam needs to fix everything. We're literally making like a potion here. This is exciting. Ew, I've touched too much. We're back. So this man, he was kind of falling asleep a lot, and then he started gurgling, and then I saw that his lips were turning blue. So I like yelled, and I ran to the front of the bus. I'm like, I think something's wrong. And she's like, well, call 911. So we pulled over and we called 911, and the ambulance took the dad, and I sat with the little boy until the police kind of took him from me. And it was really sad because he was like 5, like he kind of knew what was going on, but it was like he had been through it before, so that was just heartbreaking. This is a good one. Okay, how did I meet my mans? I love telling this story. Oh, I hate this. It's sticky and it's weird and I don't like it. My mom had gone to a psychic and she had told us that I would be marrying a man with blue eyes and brown hair, and his name would be Adam. So before my mom had gone to a psychic when I was younger, and they said that I would marry a man with blue eyes and brown hair with the letter A as his first initial. So I was like, this is it. This is who my man's is supposed to be. Oh, I hate this. No, 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 no. No. So I went on my Facebook, I went through my friends list. I did not know an Adam. Well, I did. My ex-boyfriend was an Adam with brown hair and blue eyes, but that is Satan's brother. So we're not gonna talk about him. Oh my God. So I actually went through my text list and I went to all my friends. I said, hey, does anybody know an Adam with brown hair and blue eyes and is nice and not crazy? Because your girl had been through it. And this one friend of mine named Jackie said, yeah, I do know one. I did date him. I don't know if he's really your type, but here's his phone number. So I texted said Adam, which is said Adam that I am married to. And I was like, hey, do you want to hang out? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I ended up picking him up in my car, and we like went and we walked around the forest, and I told him the story, and he was like, huh, okay, cool. And then a couple weeks after that, he was the only dude ever who was like decent. And he got a hold of me and he was like, I don't really think I'm ready for a relationship. Like, I don't know if I really want to like go with this. And it was the first time I wasn't a crazy person. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was September. January, dude swings back around and is like, I think I made a mistake. I would love to get to know you. And it's been 15 years. So how are you? Like, really love you too. How am I? A lot of periods in my life, I've really been able to have control over my emotions. Like, I know I'm upset. I know that weird stuff is going on, but I've had pretty good control of it. This is like the first time in my life where I kind of feel like I am not in control of how I am responding to things. This is insane. It's got like bubbles in it. It's like I want to be happy, but I can't help but sit and stare at a wall. A lot is going on. I think it's just like, it's just a bit much, which is fine. I'm dealing. That's the thing, is like I'm dealing well. I think I am. I think I understand when I need to stop, but my issue is like, I feel a lot of guilt if I'm not working. I feel a lot of guilt if I'm not showing up for everyone in my life. But with my uncle being sick and him needing me, and my dog being sick and him needing me, and then wanting to balance out time with my family because my mom has been, you know, very ill my whole life. I just don't get to see her enough, and I just feel like guilty all this time. But right now I want to stay right here and do nothing, but I also just want to like run away, and I just want to solve everyone's problems, and I feel like I'm going to explode. So the truth is, how am I right now? Let's just say I'm different than I've ever been. I'm okay. It's just weird because I can try to explain to people, but I know they won't understand. And then I want to do all the things, but I also just feel like I can't, but I feel like I'm getting left behind. I don't know. Life is just weird, and I'm lucky that I have a lot of people that support me, but life is weird. I hate this and I love it at the same time. How often do you think about death? So my biggest, weirdest fear thing is death. It's probably like a constant thought in my life. And I think now that like my dog is sick and I see like my uncle and his life is kind of coming to an end, it's really strange because I live with like a crazy fear of death. I really did. I feel like it's not as bad as it used to be, but I have a lot of health issues when it like comes to my heart, and I have all these dreams that I'm just gonna like drop dead and it's coming soon, and it's scary. So I think about death probably, that's like my most constant thought, which is so unhealthy, but it's in my brain all the time because I'm having fun and I don't want to leave my husband. I don't want to leave my dog. I don't want to leave the world behind. So at least it's that way. It's not like I want to go. It's just I'm terrified of it happening. So the death anxiety, 10 out of 10. Who is your biggest HS up and where are they now? I was thinking, I think this means high school bully, but I'm old so I don't really understand the lingo. But I changed schools in grade 9, half of grade 9, because there was this girl who was in grade 12 who told people that I killed dogs, skinned them alive and impaled them on fences. And people like believed her because I was super goth. And like she had thrown beer bottles at my head when I was walking home. Like it was crazy. Since then, she has had the audacity to ask me to come to her, like, she was pregnant when she was doing all this too, to come to her, like, kid's birthday party. Do you not remember? Was that just a Tuesday for you? I think that was just a Tuesday. What would you consider your type of woman attraction-wise? Okay, so a lot of people, like all the questions, do you support LGBTQ? Like, it is incredible. I am surprised I married a man. That's the truth. I love women. I love women so much. But like my type, what has always been my type is Hillary Duff. I like really petite, long, blonde-haired, slim, thicks. That's like my like outer attraction. I like kind of like shy and coy. I don't really like extroverted personality. Like I do, but like, I don't know. Everyone has their own attraction. You can't like, I don't know. But I love like little blondies with brown eyes. I don't know what it is. Like right now, I'll tell you right now. Like Caroline from Vampire Diaries. Hillary Duff. Ashley Benson. Oh, I just got squirted on. Ashley Benson. My gosh. My gosh. Look at this. Oh my God. Hayden Patronette. Like really petite. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting deep in that. That was fun. We just like, bleh, threw that up. Good night, Mr. Dragon. It was nice to meet you. Thanks for letting me squish you. Can you collab with Jake and Johnny? I think they're so fun. I recently like spoke to Johnny real quick on Instagram once. The thing with Johnny is like, that is what my best friend, like he looks just like my best friend did in high school. I was like the most hardcore emo kid growing up ever. We'll see if I can find some pictures here. And I just feel like he's such a nice person. I wrote him, he was really, really kind. I really hope that I get to collab with them someday because they just feel like really genuine, awesome people. And I feel like it would be a hilarious, I don't even want to say masterpiece. I feel like we would ruin something. I feel like we would, but it'd be fun. Turn me back to emo, take me back. You literally can just go in my closet and we can figure it out. I can do the scene hair, we'll be cool. Do you ever see shit at the corner of your eye that's never there? Like today, I saw a foot under my couch. Yeah, so that's a really interesting thing when it comes to paranormal stuff, is the very first way that I started seeing things when I was a kid, like my earliest memories is seeing this woman in a black dress in the corner of my eye. And the weird thing for me is I put up really big guard around paranormal stuff so I don't like see it and hear it all the time. But I know when I'm mentally not doing well, I start seeing things out of the corner of my eyes again because I'm not focused on keeping up that wall. So I've been seeing a little bit more of it lately than I have. Like the other day I saw a man leaning over my desk and like I looked to the side and he wasn't there. But that's just because I haven't been putting up that wall. Look at this hedgehog. We're gonna kill him. Oh God. I'm so sorry. Oh, rest in peace. Yeah, that's the way a lot of people see paranormal things, like especially if things are interdimensional and stuff like that. You're gonna see them in a different way than other people, and like a lot of people think it can boil down to mental health, which a lot of it can. So knowing the difference is very important. So what is the worst thing you've ever done to an ex? Chris mentioned something about it in a video. I think you're talking about the podcast with Chris on her channel right here.
Could. Oh, an ex-boyfriend.
With your ex?
Oh yeah, so I had this ex-boyfriend, right? And he cheated on me.
Yeah, so I had an ex-boyfriend. I had gone over to his house. His car had broken down in front of my house the day before, and I was at his house when this girl showed up. Oh my God, right? And she was pregnant, and he had been living like a separate life, and I knew nothing about it. We were in the shower, and he was like, do you have money? I need to pay for a cab. And I'm like thinking it's his mom or something. No, it wasn't. It was for her, and she came in, and I lost my mind. And I remember the last thing before I left that day in my car is I looked at her and I said, you don't deserve this either. Do you want to ride home? And she stayed with him. It didn't work out with them, if you're curious. But his car, oh my God, it's sand. His car was left in front of my house. I ended up filling the tank with sugar. And then I ended up calling the city to say there was an abandoned vehicle in front of our house for days, and they towed it away. Then I did some other things, but like, maybe that's just best not shared on the interwebs. I'm a Pisces. Only other Pisces might understand. Scariest ghost experience. This one is one of those things where I don't know how real this actually is. But when I was a girl, I had two best friends. Their names were Adrian and Tessa. And we would play with this Ouija board in her basement all of the time. And then when we were older, our one friend moved to, I think it was Ingersoll or something like that, somewhere farther away. And I was the only one that went over, and we would play with the same Ouija board. And her and I would promise our unborn children to some demon that we were talking to. We were 10. We shouldn't have had a Ouija board. But I promised like 10 of my unborn children to whatever the heck was in this Ouija board. And as you know, I don't have any children, but I've had a bunch of miscarriages. So to me, if that is something that I actually did, which, you know, it's really easy for low-level entities to kind of manipulate children, then that's interesting. That is, we all did it though, and they both have had children since then. So I don't know if I was the only one. I know I promised that. I don't know if they promised that, but yeah. Were you planning to foster teenagers before? Is that still in the plans, or have things changed? It's always changing, and it's always evolving. Everything got put on hold because my uncle got sick, and now my dog is sick, and I keep moving appointments, but I always bounce back and forth of donor eggs, my eggs, adoption, foster. I have a lot of anxiety around like babies. I fear that I do something wrong. So I feel like it'd be better to have someone who was like 11 or older. I also think that I just needed somebody like me when I was younger. So everything's on the back burner, but that's kind of what I want to do. Real truth, I wish somebody would show up at my door and say, hi, I'm about to have this baby and I don't want it. Do you want it? Can you take this baby from me, please? And I'd be like, yes, please, thank you. Awesome, great. How many tattoos do you have? Ooh, I've never done this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, looks like I'm gonna need a tattoo because, wait. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 tattoos. That's a lot. Goodness. Favorite book series. So I love books. I'm obsessed with Audible. And if you have not checked out Spooky Boo's Night Freights, you can listen to it free on Audible. I've written it and they made it sound really cool, like a movie for your ears. And if you haven't signed up, it's probably free. I don't know if it's free, so it might be. But my favorite book series of myself, oh my goodness. I love Harry Potter. I love The Vampire Diaries. I love Twilight. Okay, I love a lot of standalone books, but for series, I would say those are definitely my favorite. We need to get in one of these. I'm just having fun squishing this. Oh, hold on. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's juicy. How do you keep from freaking out when you have a ghost experience? Here's the thing with ghost experiences, okay? When they're happening to you, even though it's happening and you're experiencing it, it doesn't feel real, and you're so blown away in the moment of like, what is happening? That your brain just doesn't really let you freak out. It's kind of like an adrenaline thing. Like, I've definitely run, I've definitely screamed, I've definitely had moments, but it's so much more scary looking back on it than when it actually happens, which is weird to think of. When are you planning to have it with your husband? What is it? I want to do a puzzle later. Is that it? Favorite musical. So I'm gonna break some of your damn hearts right now. I don't like musicals, man. I hate when I'm watching a movie and then they spring into song It makes me angry. It doesn't feel like real life. I don't like fantasy movies. I don't like a lot of drama movies. Like, I like Harry Potter because I feel like it could be real. But when it comes to musicals, it's not real. It makes me uncomfortable and I don't want to watch it. I don't like it. And what is the worst thing you've ever done? Man, when I was in high school, I switched a few times because I had been bullied so bad, and I was 14 at the time, actually. This is before I left my first high school. I was in a free fall. My mom was getting sick. I wasn't the person that I wanted to be. I wasn't treating people how I wanted to, but I had never been mean to somebody. There was this girl in my gym class, and everyone called her Bird because her features made her look like a bird, and I didn't really know quite what was going on. I hadn't known that she was called Bird, and everybody was making bird sounds, and I just started making them. And I was like, caw, 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 caw. And then I saw her around like the corner and she was upset. And then I realized it, and it bothered me for like 15 years. And I ended up reaching out to her after seeing her in a drive-thru. And I just said, I'm so sorry. And I didn't know. And she's like, you know what? It's totally fine. Like, I'm over it. But still to this day, like, it haunts me that I was even mean to somebody for 1 second. But I have to own the things that I've done to, you know, come through them. But yeah. Never been a bully. I've clapped back at people who are mean to me, though, and mean to other people. I might have bullied a bully. That's not right either, but it happened. Wow, this is great. Come to my family get together. My entire family loves you. DM me for the info. 50,000 likes. I feel you enjoy being in control. Ever done anything along the lines of being a dominatrix? Have you ever had problems with? If so, how do you deal with and cope with your mental health? I've recently learned what rotting is, like bed rotting, and I've never ever really given myself time to heal from things. And I think just shutting off the world and totally shutting down has been what's kind of saved me. I put out a video on Ozempic and how it changed my life. Ozempic to me, I consider something extremely, 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 extremely dangerous, and it has helped a lot of people, and it helped me for a minute too. But I'm gonna tell you the honest truth right now. I think that Ozempic is really dangerous. I think we're going to learn a lot about it. Once I came off Ozempic, my sugars were worse than ever, than even before. But Ozempic in me, not in all people, like I said, it helps people. But I think it's important to do your research. It triggered this anxiety into me that felt like life-ending anxiety. It was the first time in my life where I ever really understood why people leave sometimes. And I think I'm still learning to deal, especially as of lately. Like, I feel better. I'm in a safe place for sure. But it's a learning experience for me. But taking care of yourself, it's so scary, but sometimes you just have to shut it off. Shut up, people. And that's okay. Because the real people, they'll come back. What hair products do you use? Your hair is gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. I'm always like that with sponsors. I'm like, why do I not have more hair sponsors? So in 2019, I cut off all of my hair, like to here, like really short. This is just air. I was really hoping that'd be more dramatic. I cut off all my hair to here and I wore wigs for 2 years, which was like the green wigs and the red wigs. And it was so cool. But the truth is, at the end of the day, I just dye it black. I use Function of Beauty shampoo, so it's catered towards my hair. And I always use a leave-in conditioner. I brush it from the ends up. I don't start up high. The one thing that sucks is my motorcycle helmet always destroys it in the summer. But yeah, I tend to not use heat when I need to. I try to make my styles last. I use a lot of dry shampoo and sulfate-free shampoos. That's the truth. Look at this. Oh my. Oh, it's like throw up and there's too much on my hands. What is your favorite kind of pie if you like pie? I'm a cake girl. If I can go for a pie, I'm going for a lemon meringue or a blueberry. Next up, will you be selling signed copies of your books in the future when it comes down to it? Actually, interesting fun fact, my book, Clandestine House, has a new foreword in it and got re-edited. It is going to be released at like Indigo chapters if you're in Canada. So when that comes out, I'm going to be driving like across country and I'm going to be signing all the copies of my book. So maybe you'll see me there, maybe get some, but keep it Instagram for announcements on that. When are you going to make a video with Kelsey Davies? I love Kelsey Davies. I think she's one of the kindest people in the industry. When I say that, I've met so many people in the industry and she has so genuinely showed up for me so many times out of nowhere, which has been really nice, and getting to know her over these last few years has been so cool. But she's beyond talented and she just she makes me want to work harder. She makes me believe in myself more and in my own talents and stuff like that. Least favorite dog breed, best dog breed. I can't not have a favorite dog breed, but I'll tell you why. I love Dachshunds, but I don't like them because everyone who I know who has a senior Dachshunds, their back breaks and they die. So I don't like Dachshunds for that reason. And I don't like Frenchies because they can't breathe. And it's more for them. It's not because of them at all. Best dog breed ever, Havanese. It's literally the best. What is it like being someone who can connect with ghosts and see their stories? It's really cool. It can be so overwhelming though, especially when you're walking around a mall and you get a memory that's not yours and you feel like the need to tell somebody about it, but like you don't know if it's like bro in the camo shirts or the woman over there who forgot to put on pants and you don't want to approach them. Are you taking care of you? I'm trying, babes. I feel paralyzed and like I'm gonna explode, but you can't just turn everything off forever, you know? You gotta start trying to get back to it. I'm doing it bit by bit, and it's weird because I think I'm fine, and then I'll be at a store and someone will say hi, and then I just start crying. So I'm doing my best. I really am. And Adam's doing a good job, and I'm really lucky because like I have Chris. Chris has reached out a lot. I just love the people who surround me a lot because I feel like I've with some of my friends who I talk to regularly or semi-regularly, like Chris, who's my best friend. I feel like it's just been months and months and months and months of me just not having good news, but she has like stood by me and stayed my friend, and you know, where a lot of people would just run away. Thankful for my people. Who's your celebrity crush? I have a lot of them. My celebrity crush would probably be like Hilary Duff. Yeah. Emily Hampshire. I love her. Who has a celebrity crush? They're always women, man. Yeah, that's probably it. Oh, also, when we talk about celebrity crushes, we have a conversation inside of these Q&As. The amount of people that were like, yo, have you and Chris ever hooked up? If you and Chris were in a relationship, if one of you was a boy, not only that, but even with Sam and Colby, like the thirst in these comments, I want to make something super clear. Chris is my sister. We have a beautiful platonic friendship. She's my best friend. And when you say that, it gives me the weirds because that's my sister. Same with Sam and Colby. They just feel like they remind me of my brother, and they're kind like my brother, and they're my brothers, so don't make it weird. What is the craziest thing you did when you sleptwalked? Left. My parents live near a forest, and I left with pants on, no top, woke up in the forest, which is like a kilometer from the house, had no idea where I was at all. Luckily, I was right by the pond, and then when I walked out of the forest, I could see the house, so I walked home. But that was definitely, that was top 10, top 1, that's the one. Oh my god, look at this. It's a dumpling. And I can't tell if this is goo. Oh, this is gonna be gross. I'm excited. Have you always been able to see ghosts? Yeah, so my first memories, like my earliest memories are of this woman in a black dress and this little girl who I would play with who wasn't in like the same color as me. Like she was like more of a sepia tone, which is interesting and weird because it's not just because it's olden days, but like, oh, what have I done? Oh, poop it out. That's nice. Oh, I like that. Most embarrassing memory. Oh, this is such an annoying story. So a few years ago, I got to tell Ryan Reynolds a dad joke. So I get to this movie theater that we're supposed to go to an hour before he shows up. I'm sitting up top. People keep asking me for photos, which sometimes happens. It's so hit or miss. Sometimes I go out, no one knows who I am. Sometimes I go out and people want to take pictures. I love it. I love meeting people who watch me. So I'm taking a bunch of photos with people. Then I'm sitting down beside my brother. I'm deep on my phone. I'm on like a FaceTime call. I'm in the middle of something. My brother's sitting beside me doing nothing, just staring out. This woman comes over and she's like, hi, could we take a picture? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, of course. So I go and I stand beside her and we pose for her. And she's like, no. Can you take a picture of me and my boyfriend? And she was like that. Like, that's how she did it. She's like she was looking down at me. She was super tall, super gorgeous. But, like, nobody was, like, asking her for pictures. I don't know if she was an influencer. I don't know if she worked for, like, a news agency. I don't know what it was. But she shot her nose down at me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, so embarrassing. Can't believe this happened. But, like, my brother was sitting right beside me. Like, she did this on purpose. So I took the picture of her and her boyfriend. And then, like, she came over. She's like, I'm sorry. That was so embarrassing for you. And then it was funny because then they pulled me over and they're like, oh, you need to go speak to Ryan. She's like, oh, you get to meet him. And I'm like, shut up. Go away. Ugh. Anyways. Oh my God. Oh, I hate clusters. How do you get to the point of not caring what other people think about you? I have been blessed my whole life where I've never given a shit. I don't know what it's like to care what people think, honestly. Like, that was weird. I have just found that everybody's focusing on themselves so much. No one's listening to you. No one cares what's going on. No one really does. When you think that they're worrying about you, they're worrying about themselves or what other people are thinking about them. And it has nothing to do with you. So that's the best advice and that I can tell you about that. What is my deepest, darkest secret? I don't think I have one. I think I put it all out there. Maybe my deepest, darkest secret is thinking that I'm just different from everybody else and that I think different or too much. I don't think that's a secret though. I don't know if that's a weakness or a strength. How do you get your lips so perfect? Filler, Botox. Yeah. I have pictures that show my lips before. Like, I actually have no upper lip at all. None. Just like my dad. Like, it doesn't exist. I really love Botox and fillers. I think it's something that you can do to your face that doesn't last forever. And it's honestly, like, made me feel really good about myself and, you know, age gracefully. Baby Botox, I tell it to anybody. I've been doing Botox and fillers for probably 4 or 5 years now. Where can I reliably get the SS Method equipment without destroying my bank account? GhostStop.com is really great. You can get a lot of ghost equipment there. It can be a little pricey, but I can vouch for it all. I have it all, and it works really well. This is another sandy boy. What is your favorite guilty pleasure? Okay, so the only way that like really thing that calms my soul, it's not like watching new movies or anything like that. Like I like to rewatch the exact same shows over and over again. And I pretty much cycle through Schitt's Creek, Modern Family, The Vampire Diaries, Letterkenny. And then my other thing is I like going away by myself. Like I can't travel on my own. Maybe that's one of my biggest secrets. It's like I can't. Like people are like, oh, come do this fun thing with us. And it's like, I will panic. I'll panic. I'd rather drive. I'd rather, you know, pay for my stuff. I just can't go alone. I have too many heart issues. I'm afraid of dying with nobody there. Like I'm afraid of having a medical emergency, and that just is what it is. But yeah, my favorite guilty pleasure is like going to Toronto, getting a hotel for the weekend, being completely quiet, going to the mall, going to the movies by myself. I hate going to the movies with people. Ugh! I love going by myself. Who's your biggest inspiration? My mommy. My mommy. My mom has multiple sclerosis. She's been very ill for a big chunk of my life. She's luckily still with us. There's been a couple times where we didn't know what was really going to happen. When I was in grade 7 or 8, they told her, like, don't go home. You're too much of a burden on your family. And this amazing woman named Irene came to my mom and she said, your mother, you need to go home. And she came home, and I couldn't imagine my life without my mom. She needs like round the clock care, but she is kind still. And my dad, that's hard. He's been a caregiver 24/7 for like 20 years, and I'm really thankful to him. And I'm a part-time caregiver for someone with dementia who can still take care of themselves, and I'm exhausted. I can't imagine having to do everything all the time, forever. Because you and Adam struggled to have a baby, would you ever let somebody else carry for you? We had a surrogate when we were setting it up, and we kind of got ghosted by her, and that's probably one of the most tragic things that have ever happened in my life, and I don't know if I will ever recover from it. But that's kind of what's made me scared to go forward to ever actually have kids, because I've just found it doesn't work out a lot of the time. Will there be a sequel to Hollow? Yes, but actually the sequel to Clandestine House is what we're working on now. So I'm really excited because that's my bestseller and everybody loves that one. Okay, I have a heavy hitter. What is the hardest lesson you've had to learn in your life? No relationship will remain the same for the rest of your life. It won't. It evolves and it changes. With friends, with husbands, you know, the person that you marry is not going to be the same person in 10 years, and you can't expect the same things. Like, you will have people in your life who are like, I know they will show up tomorrow, but in a year from now, maybe they wouldn't show up at all. And things evolve. So you have your core people, you have your circle, but the hardest thing is learning that, you know, people change and relationships will change, and you have to prepare yourself for that. But a lot of the time, it's a good thing because we evolve. If you weren't a YouTuber businesswoman, what would your career path be? Writing. I love to write. I love to write. I wish I had more time to write. Probably write plays, be a screenwriter. Writing stories, work in movies, I don't know. Delaney. That was gonna be a daughter's name for me, I love that. Your favorite makeup palette that you've released. So my favorite thing, I'm so excited about this one, that I have ever released is the Spirit Board collection, which you can actually get on my website right here. But I think maybe I'll put it on sale. We got to design this like Ouija planchette. Oh, this is so cool. And the colors were absolutely amazing. The formulas were crazy. We worked so hard to get them together. It comes in this gift box, but that was definitely the coolest thing I ever created. Next up is definitely the You're the Shit palette. I feel like that's what kind of put me on the map when it came to makeup. A lot of people don't even know that I created makeup, so that was like a really, really fun thing for me. I want to blow this up. This was like the Forget Forbidden, you know. That's what it would feel like to be in a dolphin. Oh yeah. Can you start an OnlyFans? The amount of DMs that I get from weirdos asking me to start an OnlyFans, yo, you do not want to see me naked. But I think it would be really, really fun to create like a Patreon where like, as Adam and I are unhinged and we film things that just can't go on the internet. Like they can't. And he's like, how funny would this be if we had like a Patreon where just like our closest fans and stuff could be. I was like, you know what? That sounds like such a fun idea. Would you guys even subscribe to that? Please let me know because that is so on the table. I would love to do something like that. But again, I feel bad putting up a paywall, but it's like I don't get paid for TikTok, y'all. So can you imagine if you get like really funny jokes? Like we could just post there all day, every day, have conversations. You know what? I'm gonna pin a comment, and if it gets like thousands of people who say that they're gonna join, then I will start a Patreon and it will be a mess. When automatic writing, do you write anything that comes into your mind or do you let the spirits move your hand? I write what comes into my head. Sometimes I hear sentences. Sometimes I'm writing what I hear. Sometimes I'm writing what I see. Sometimes I'm writing what I think I'm thinking. Yeah. Oh, you want to know about my weight loss and health journey? Well, since the whole thing's happened with Molly, I started first, didn't eat for a whole week, then ate everything for a whole week. So not great, not great. We fluctuate. How did you and Chris meet and how long have you two been friends? So we did the math the other day. We've been friends since 2020, like very early 2020, very late 2019. So we've been friends for 4 years, which is really cool. Oh, good, another liquid one. I'm gonna do this and then squirt it out. Ah. We met because I had used Tiny Hands at a pumpkin patch and I hadn't seen Chris's content yet because I'm less of a scroller, more of just a random poster. And somebody was filling out, they're like, you stole this from Chris. So I met her. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that this was your thing. And she's like, bro, it's not my thing. Anybody can use Tiny Hands. And then from that, we started talking on Instagram. Then we moved over to Snapchat. And then we started talking every day. And then it blossomed. And then I was like, this is my sister. And then she's the number 1 TikToker in Canada. And I'm the number 2. And I was like, we just gotta be best friends. And she was like, soul sister. And then now we got each other. Kinks. Just draw on my back when we're good. How is life treating you? So, other than that, good. You know, I'm still very thankful for all the good things in my life because a lot is great. A lot is great. But great. Have you ever shit while sleepwalking? Yep, moving on. What did you want to do when you grew up? I just wanted to be a mom, man. I wanted to be a journalist for a minute, but I just wanted to be a mom. But now, I just don't know. Everything is in the air. This is the most unsure of the future I've ever been. Yeah. As someone who's moving into adulthood, what is the hardest part for you? Nobody's telling you to get up and go. Nobody's telling you to get to work. Nobody's asking you if your homework's done. No one's telling you to get to class. You're now that person for yourself. And I think that's why a lot of people fail, is because they stop having someone in their corner saying, it's time to get up, it's time to do this. So the hardest part is being your own advocate. Do I have any icks with Adam? He sleeps with his eyes open and he looks like a dying Victorian child. That's about it. Why can't you have kids? Sorry if this is triggering. I used to get so triggered by baby questions, but I'm over it now. It doesn't upset me anymore. I have a eucorneate uterus, which means that it looks like a unicorn horn. So I remember when I woke up from the surgery to find out if I had it, Adam literally brought me, to tell me, he bought me a stuffed unicorn. And he just gave it to me. I'm like, okay. So I had a eucorneate uterus, and my one ovary is not connected. And I developed some PCOS. I think I have a bit of endometriosis. It just sticks, but once it grows to a certain size, it just pops off. So, yep. Who would you let absolutely bang your brains out from Letterkenny? Mrs. McMurray. Yeah. What's my favorite type of tea? That is going to be David's Tea Cold 911. It is amazing. There's also this little place I go called the Wild Tart in Elora, Ontario. It's a tea house. And they have this one that's like blue and then you put lemon in it. It turns purple and it's absolutely delicious. Oh my God, there was nothing in here but a little ball. Do you light up? Hey! I'm putting it in. We're doing it anyways. What made you want to be so open with us about things in your social life? I love influencers, but so many of them aren't telling the truth, and I feel like that's why a lot of them don't actually succeed, is because like they're out here acting a certain way, but that's not who they really are, and I just don't feel like that lasts for a long time. Like I feel like you can't be that person if you're not actually that person. And not only that, but like if you're not telling lies, then there's nothing to keep up with. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're not lying, you don't need to keep up with anything you're saying. So I don't have anything to lose. I don't have anything to gain. If something that I'm going through can help you guys, then I'm gonna talk about it. Do you have Telegram? Because I think I'm talking to you. Guys, it's not. It's not me. Any social media, if it's not verified, it's not me. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. But like, if it's not verified, if it doesn't just say Selena Spooky Boo, it's not me. And I'm so sorry for the people who've been scammed. Favorite hobbies? Man, I like going to the mall and listening to... Audiobooks. Audiobooks are my hobby. I love listening to audiobooks and I like watching movies and I like walking around in my forest listening to true crime and pretending that there's somebody hunting me. No, I don't. When you die, what do you hope you're remembered for? What I've liked throughout this career is that people have come to me and said that their life was brightened by some of the stuff that I've done, that I made life just a little bit easier for them in their hard moments. And I think I just want to be remembered as a friend. Someone who made you laugh, somebody who made you smile, someone who made a little bit of a difference, someone who you felt safe with. And that's, oh goodness, that's all that I really want to be remembered for. Nothing crazy. Maybe a good writer. I think that'd be really cool. Not enough people take chances on my books. That's okay though. Not everybody reads. What's your best achievement? I think my best achievement is finding peace in myself. Sometimes I look at people who have been through a lot of things and they fall apart and they can't do life at all, like at all, or they turn to drugs or alcohol, and I didn't give up. I think that's my biggest achievement. Did you ever fail any classes in middle school and high school? We don't have middle school where I am. I don't know if that's just an American thing or something. I'm gonna tell you right now though, I have failed math because I'm horrible at it. I don't think I failed it. I was just bad at it. I failed French. I can't speak another language. I really wish this smelled like bananas, but it doesn't. I failed French. I can't learn another language, man. I wish I could. There's a couple things I wish I could do. Learn languages, sing, be musical at all whatsoever. Oh God. Squeeze out the banana. Ew. I need to know if Leroy is still around. I haven't seen Leroy. Haven't really felt Leroy. The truth is, he was around when we were doing stuff. When I feel like he checked everything out and he was like, yeah, good job, good job. I don't think he's moved on. I think if we make any more improvements, he'll show up, but I haven't really seen him. Describe your first time smoking. By the way, love you and look up to you. Might not after this. I was 14 and my friend was like, I got this. I got it from a friend. Let's try it. Let's try it. So we went down to our local, like, woods, I guess you could say. And we were smoking out of a Coke can or a water bottle. We didn't know how to do this. And it was so funny because I'm like, oh, nothing's happening, thinking it would happen right away. So we had, like, a bunch and we just got rid of it all, if you know what I mean. And I remember walking home and I saw this tree and I'm like, that tree looks like Santa Claus. And then I remember noticing that I was not okay. I was not okay. And I get home and I walk in the front door and all I hear is screaming. So my brother had fallen at the park and had broken his arm, or thought he had broken his arm. I don't think he actually did break his arm. I'm getting in here. But I went over and I'm like, I need to sound smart because something's not right. Like, something is not okay here. I am not okay here. So I go over, I'm like, yeah, I think he broke his stegman maximus. And my mom was like, what? And I think she knew because she said, you need to go upstairs. So I went upstairs and I laid on the floor in my room and I watched Dora Explorer and I felt like I was going to die and I was terrified and it scared me off that for a while. I'll tell you right now. Okay, so look at our soup. This is gross. Okay, wait, do we have more questions? Hold up. Oh, I've made a mistake. That's it! Okay. Yep, so here's our soup that we made by all of the forbidden gushies that we popped. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, leave them down below. I'm going to be answering them. Thanks for coming along on this adventure. Sorry videos have been more chill. My brain has just not been, so they had to be. I love you guys for sticking with me, and I'll see you again next week. Bye, Boo Crew. I'm definitely not going to eat this.